I think it's so ironic that people were complaining about this art style.
What
Like,
the hell, man? It's awesome.
beautiful. And like, if I don't know like what art style they wanted from this game. Like, what was their expectation? What was like, what
Right.
did they actually want with it? Because it is like legitimately like a beautiful game to look at. It is like constantly like just fun to like look at the colors and the backgrounds and all the decorations that they have with it. It is like truly a gorgeous game. And let's, take a second to go back to the original Monkey Island games. Those things were not pretty, they were not like, I wouldn't say they were art style forward games at all.
I mean, I thought they had a lot of interesting, like they had a lot of interesting pixel art to them. You know what I mean? Like I thought they looked good. But like if you were to make this now, which they did, like, do you want the 3D stuff from that Telltale thing? No, like
No.
this like Wind Waker, I think has one of those timeless art styles that will look good no matter when you're playing it.
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
It looks great on the Switch too. Like I'm playing it on the Switch. I don't know about you.
Yeah, playing on the Switch, yes. On the
And it runs-
OLED?
Yeah, me too. And it runs really well too.
Yeah, I've had no problems with it. I think I guess I should have tried this. Does it have touch controls?
Yeah.
Oh, see, there you go.
You play,
Like
the, the whole thing with touch controls.
I would say part of it that's just a little bit frustrating is some of the control scheme side of things, but the fact that it has touch controls, I think, kind of like would avoid some of that.
Yeah.
It's sometimes like getting items out of your inventory just is a little rougher than it should be, I think.
Yeah, and like actually using them on things.
Yeah, but that's me being highly like critical of it. Like it's not like it's stopping me from playing the game or anything like that. Any of these games that you have to deal with an inventory can always be a complicated game.
I didn't realize that Ron Gilbert, creator and director of Monkey Island, did all like the humongous entertainment stuff. So like Pajama Sam and Putt Putt and Freddy the Fish. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
And it is just one of those games that has so much charm to it. It's fun. It is my favorite. This isn't LucasArts anymore, is it? Like, what's the...
No, this is published by Devolver Digital.
Devolver Digital. Yeah. But just has so much charm to it, and I like it so much.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this other than, like, I really enjoy this.
So, I mean,
yeah.
I think one thing to say about it is the gameplay of it. This is like your puzzle, like, what's the genre of this called? It's like your puzzle adventure.
Yeah, I would say kind of like a point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah.
Like a throwback, because
Yeah.
this game kind of doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Because they sort of turned those into like Telltale games. Like that was like the really big thing. And then Telltale went under it, right? And I think the shift from there, from like the Telltale stuff, I think what most people or what most developers took away from the Telltale sort of formula was not the, point and click adventure games are fun, but it was like, games where you make decisions are fun, which is why then you get Until Dawn and The Quarry and the other one I liked from this year. Why can't I think of its name?
Bad outfit guy.
As
What?
Dusk Falls.
Yeah,
yes.
the guy with the bad outfit, the t-shirt.
100%.
Yeah.
T-shirt and cargo
It's the only-
shorts. I think that's a great part of those Telltale games, right? But I do miss the point and click adventure. I have fond memories of, first of all, playing like Putt Putt and Pajama Sam. Those are my two favorites from Humongous Entertainment as a kid. But I really liked, there was this game called, Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper.
Was it like a fighting game? And you did combos.
Not quite. Is this the game I'm thinking of?
There was like a Sherlock Holmes like adventure like point and click game, I believe, right? Like
There
not
have
point
been
and
many.
click, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, this is this is like a 2009 game. I played it on the Xbox 360, and it is just one of those point and click adventure games with lots of puzzles and stuff. And I liked it very much. And so I'm a big fan of the point and click adventure genre, but this is a wonderful, in my opinion, throwback to that, because it's just not really a genre that's around anymore.
See, for me, I think a lot of those older games are almost so obtuse that they're not fun to play. And when you were
Agreed.
the original two, The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge. I started playing The Secret of Monkey Island 2 when I was in college, kind of like going back and like filling out my history of video games, and that was such an obtuse game, and with how slow it is, it would just be really rough to do. So I think about halfway through, I started just like looking up the answers, and you can get through this game if you know the answers in a couple hours. Just like rush through everything. And then I played Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge solely using a guide just to like go through. And like that's not like really the fun way to do it. Like you want like puzzles that you feel like you get rewarded for, but I still think a lot of these games, it was like the logic behind some of the puzzles, like you have to, put a soda can in some cotton and then shake it up and put it in a snake to balloon the snake to, like there was just like weird stuff that always doesn't make sense. But sometimes the puzzles hit and they really make sense. That's why for this game, I find it to be very fun and refreshing with a lot of the puzzles. I'm never like knocking my head against the wall to a point where it feels impossible. And if you do, the game itself has features in it that makes it a little bit easier. Like there's difficulty settings to it, and there's a hint system that they have. The hint
book.
Yeah. So you're further with this. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like it is like the throwback to the classic point and click obtuse nature of these?
I think it is much better than those. I will say they're like 99% of the time, I think it's really, really solid with that sort of stuff. And then there's just a handful of moments where you're like, okay, fuck you. Here's a hint. If I don't mean to spoil a puzzle for anyone,
but this is probably a puzzle that needs to be spoiled if you're going to bring it up right now.
I just want to give you a hand, a guide writer to you, the audience, the Monkey Island players. When you are on LeChuck's ship, which I guess, spoiler, it's like in the first fucking hour. Get off my back.
And also in the first hour, it's very clear that the whole time you're trying every other way to avoid getting on LeChuck's ship. And then it's just like every time it's like, I guess I'm getting on this then. It's really funny.
You are going to need to flatten a skull. I know that sounds weird. You just need to do it. And you go to flatten it, and as soon as you touch the object that's supposed to flatten it, it breaks into 1,000 pieces. And Guybrush goes like, okay, well, I got to fix this before I do the flattening. And the thing you use to fix it are some nails that you have in your inventory from something earlier that you just are like, would never assume that you would ever need. Use the nails on the thing and it will be fixed instantly. I don't know how you were supposed to intuit that nails would fix a laundry machine, like a washing machine thing.
You've never fixed a laundry machine before? Like that's like one of its main ingredients.
Oh yeah, it's true. We have a laundry machine, a washing machine here, and when you open it up, right? It's just nails inside. What's that?
Is it an in-unit?
Yeah, I got in-unit washer and dryer, man.
Clutch. You are living in the top 2% of the country.
I know. It's the view from up here is
it's pretty nice.
Pretty nice. Use the nails on the broken thing. That's I think only for people playing on the hard mode. Because also the hard mode and the easy mode are basically the same thing. It's just that the hard mode is a little bit more tedious.
Define tedious.
So in the hard mode, when you select the washer, it breaks instantly, and then you have to use nails to fix it. On easy mode, I just don't think it breaks.
Oh, so there's just like a couple other steps.
Yeah, like puzzles are a little bit more drawn out in that way. I don't know if this is for sure one of the differences, but like early on, you need to use a monocle to look at a serial number on a lock. Are you playing on hard mode or easy mode? Or casual mode, I mean.
Explain to me this puzzle and I'll answer it to you.
Well, I don't know if this is a hard mode or easy mode. This is just an example of something that I would say like is sort of the difference. So like what I'm trying to say is like I don't know if this is different in casual mode versus hard mode, but this is just the type of thing that would be different. So in hard mode, or at least to my understanding, you need 2 monocles to look at a serial number on a lock to make it big enough so that you can see it. You get one of the monocles earlier on, and then to get the second one, you just go back and get another one. And like to me, that's not a really good puzzle because it's just picking up the same item twice. And it's like, how would I know that I would just need to get that again? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I'm playing on hard mode then, based on that description. But like, This goes back to the original Monkey Island games. It would be like you'd go through your inventory, you'd go into an old room, you'd try every item in your inventory with every item that's in the room, and then try to like guess what the right solution would be based on that. It was like literally everything was like that. So I mean, at least for me at this point, it doesn't feel like the puzzles are that obtuse at this point, for the most part.
I would say in general, most of it is easily intuited.
Yeah, and if you're someone who is like worried about it too, like an obtuse game, I don't think it's like impossible to play. And they do have the systems like the easy versus hard mode to make it better. They also had one about like extended dialogue options. I don't know if you check that. It just makes them talk more.
Oh, detail a little bit more about what you should be doing.
No. Like I think like in conversation, like some of the dialogue just takes longer in the dialogue. But there are like some of the customizable things to make the experience what you want, which I think is kind of cool. But yeah, overall, I think this game, personally for me, is a fun game. You should try it if you are interested in this. If you like funny games, if you like pirates, I do think you feel like you are thrown into the deep end a little bit with some of these characters if you've never played the original games before.
You think so? I disagree.
I mean, that's good because I feel like even at the very beginning when you're like meeting all these characters again, like it's like referencing the first few games, like, and I get it doesn't like you're not lost, like they explain who the people are, but I feel like part of the charm for me is seeing good old Stan again in prison and then hearing how he lost his business and hearing all the references they made about his like past dealings from other games and stuff. But you don't feel like you're unsure about the context of these characters and stuff?
I mean, anytime like you go to a map shop, is Wally's map shop, is he like in other games? Mm-hmm. You show up and you're like, hey, sorry for the last time we met. Like, I didn't mean to do that to you. And he's like, you know what? I've moved on. And I just go, okay, that wasn't for me. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just okay, like they know each other. Like that's, so like, I don't think that you really don't pick up on any of it. There's a nice little scrapbook right when you start the game, or that you can access from the main menu of the game that's fully voiced, where Guybrush is basically like, here are some of the adventures I've been on. Like, how great is this? And it basically just like fills you in on like generally who are the big players in this and like that sort of stuff. It's also set. I really like the framing of it, of Guybrush telling a story to his kid, which I think is very cute. And also like anytime there is like a big question about like, wait, how did this happen? Or who is this person? How do you know them? Like the kid will ask it and then Guybrush will explain it. So no, I personally don't think it is throwing you in like that at all. I followed it pretty well.
Okay, yeah, I guess the way my critique of it is like it's not a critique. I just feel like you're connected more to some of these characters if you play the other games, because it is referencing a lot of the characters from the other games, not necessarily like the story or not like you're lost with it. Like it's not like you're going to be like unaware of what's going on. Sure. Guess what? Guybrush is married to Elaine Marley, who's better than him at most everything.
Right, but they don't like see each other that often.
I mean, they're both doing their own independent adventures, it seems like.
Okay.
But
because that was the only thing where I was like, in the scrapbook, he's like, we're married, and then like she shows up, and he's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you so long. I was like, are you not married, or are you just off doing pirate things individually?
Yeah, dude, the pirate life, it's rough. You don't get to see your significant other that much, specifically if your wife is a pirate. Was she the mayor? Yeah, like former mayor.
Yeah,
she was
like
originally the mayor, and then like she became like the one who was like kidnapped, and like you had to go rescue. But then ends up she rescues you because Guybrush is an idiot.
It's cute. That's cute. When she shows up, she shows up intermittently throughout the game, and it's always a joy to see them.